Hello, everyone. Welcome to the final episode of Season 1 of the Starfall Collective, Episode 13. I am Josh Suich, your DM, and I am joined by my friends, as always, by Matthew Talamini. Matt, care to say hi, introduce yourself?
What's up? I'm Matthew Talamini. I play Thak, a half-orc bard, level 5. I am a writer and web developer based in Providence, Rhode Island. You can see some of my writings at MatthewTalamini.com. That's Matthew, TALAMINI.com.
Excellent. Burbridges?
This is Jacob.
Hi.
I'm Sir Robert Burbridge, and you can see a picture of a goose at thefarce.net.
And
Is it a good goose?
What now?
Is it a good goose?
It's worth taking a gander at.
Yeah, that's right. Very nice.
I don't have a website, but maybe soon you'll be able to see my new dark fantasy campaign coming up.
Very cool.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
It sounds fantastic and dark.
Yep.
Mr. Knoll?
Hi, I'm Dwight Canal.
And Mr. Farrell?
I'm David. I'm Matt's indentured servant.
That's not true.
I don't know that.
He's no servant.
I'm pretty sure, based on the Count of Monte Cristo, that attaining an indentured servant is a thing that can happen against your will, or at least independent of it. So,
Hear that, Matt?
Look, I'm Dave.
Your facial hair doesn't match.
This is very true. You need to get some Grecian man and or some black shoe polish and rub it in your beard.
Oh, wait, he's a Tamerdan man.
Did anything happen last week that was a matter of particular weal or woe to your character or you as a person?
I caught a dude's arm and threw it back at him, hurting him.
That's true.
And still am a surfboard.
I think by the time we left, you had finished your time as an implement of surfing and had come to be upon your feet. Pretty sure.
Still a surfboard.
Like a grizzle
I have no idea.
What about
Back-
Grizzle?
Sorry.
Don't
coming on. It is heard like 19 announcements all at once.
That was my phone telling me to play D&D with you guys.
Speaking
Nice.
of indentured servitude.
20 minutes late.
So, you gentlemen
5 minutes, Josh early.
find yourselves very fortuitously in a cavern that is filled with two figures of substantial arcane power, a necromancer and a wizard. Fortunately for you, this room is not full of zombies and minions of various ilks, because when you, Thak, were holding this blade through the chest cavity of one of the guardians of the entrance room, you opened a portal and spent several rounds exchanging long distance, you as a party, exchanging missiles and arcane blasts with these guys. And in that time, they sent away most of their guards and protection, attempting to track you down. But then, much to their chagrin, you managed to hurl yourselves bodily, Mela and Thak, through the portal successfully. Tashash, less so, providing ample drama as always through misfortune and ineptitude. Though it was a valiant try, you ended up getting sucked through some sort of nether region of the portal and got sucked into the inside of the nearby enormous 50-foot diameter sphere of arcane energy. Harcourt, you and Volas,
My trusty steed.
Your trusty steed, the board of the Silver Surfer, managed to make your way up the Arcano, around the Arcano, and while you were surfing the outside of the sphere, you managed to snatch Tashash out of the inside of the sphere, pull him with you, and you guys have all landed on the ground. Thack managed to Mary Poppins his way to the ground by virtue of his pack, and fortunately Mela was able to mitigate the falling damage with his monk ability of Featherfall. So, as you gentlemen stand looking at the shocked, horrified, and angry necromancer and wizard before you, you look around at this cavern and you see a few more details that you didn't catch in the first few seconds of landing. You see that the roof of this cavern is interlaced with a tremendous amount of large, enormous, 6 foot thick root structures that
The root of evil.
Say again.
The root of evil.
And you see that at the top of the dome, above where that sphere is, there appears to be some sort of black pitch type droplet that's very large that is forming and slowly coming down, and every now and then it drops, and you see it vaporize when it hits this sphere of energy, and you see it become absorbed into this swirl, right? In addition to the roots on the ceiling, you also see a number of large black crystalline outcroppings. Some of them are several feet in diameter, some of them are 9-10 feet long, and there are a few dozen nodes of these black crystals jutting out. There are several passageways leading out of the room at the far end. There are two. If we assume that the sphere is the south of the chamber, then on the north side, at the northeast and northwest, there are two passages leading away. You are standing face to face with a kobold necromancer and a dark gnome wizard, one of whom has recently asked you the question, "Who are you guys?" And I will make you roll for initiative when you need to, but for now, gentlemen, we are in dialogue with the bad guys.
Thack has something to say. Surprise! Hey, how do we stop all the evil that you guys have been doing? We're here to put an end to it. So if you just let us know how to make all the zombies go away, then we'll be cool. But otherwise, we're gonna fight you.
And more importantly, all the gold and treasure you've hoarded down here, we need to return it probably to its rightful owners. Show it to us now.
The gnome looks at you, Thack, and says,
"Now, why on earth would we choose voluntarily to render information to you that would help us, that would help you erode years and years of careful planning and groundwork? Why? Why would I just..."
And the necromancer...
While this is going on, Tashash is prepping another javelin with his special...
Excellent. Would you like to make a sleight of hand check to see if you can do this in a surreptitious manner?
No. I don't care if they see it.
You're just pulling...
Yep.
Says,
go in the bag.
Hang on. And the necromancer turns to Harcourt and says, you can have our treasure when you pry it from my already cold dead fingers. And you can see a milky white in his eyes. Make me a perception check.
Okie dokie. 12.
Yeah. So you surmise from what this guy is saying that he is some sort of undead necromancer or something.
Cool.
Thack says...
Wait, Harcourt replies, yeah, okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Thack says,
I'd
I
also
don't know-
like to cast Hunter's Mark on the Necromancer.
All right, hang on one sec. I think Thack was about to say something.
In response
gonna
to
do that.
the question, why would we voluntarily
Sure,
do whatever?
sure.
Zach says, I don't know, you might not be very smart, but I was like totally threatening you. It was a threat. Like,
Would you like to roll to intimidate?
yes.
Okay.
While he's rolling to intimidate, Mela says, there's two options. You can give us what we need and not get punched in the face a bunch of times, or you can get punched in the face a bunch of times and then give us what we ask for.
16.
Tell you what, you try punching me in the face, see how well that works for you, and I'll try punching you in the face, and we'll see how well that works for me.
I'm going to
Everybody,
attack him.
Roll
I
for
wanna attack.
initiative.
Great.
And-
How far are they from us?
You guys are surrounding them in a circle. You guys are all about 15 feet away from them.
Okay.
And Thack, the one who you tried to intimidate, stares you dead in the eye. He rolled a 20. He stares you dead in the eye and mimics your grimace and says, "Bring it on, Tooth Boy."
Ha ha!
All right.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
That's going to be an 11, Josh.
Okay.
11
Big
for me, too.
1-1.
Okay.
19.
Ooh,
Okay.
14. Did you hear
Jacob
me?
got a 5.
Gotcha.
Tell me, Josh,
Well,
what,
what was your roll?
Me?
Yeah.
3.
He said,
No, you
3.
got Initiative plus 2.
Oh, yeah, but plus 2. 3 plus 2 is 5.
Sure. Okay. What were you saying, Matt?
never mind.
Okay. Tashash, you have drawn your javelin and you point at which one? The gnome or the necromancer?
I marked the Necromancer.
You marked the necromancer. With what mark again?
Hunter's Mark.
Hunter's mark. Okay. Tashash, take it away. Dun,
All right.
dun, 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 dun.
So this is another one of those virulent javelins.
Nice.
They should both already be poisoned,
Okay.
but a little extra won't hurt. So long as I don't bite them. So I'm gonna cast a javelin at at the
At the kobold necromancer. Go for it.
y'all.
Roll me that
Okay.
beautiful beam footage. Give me a number.
Well, right. Oh wait, sorry.
Your attack is a +4, and you're going to get a D6 and a D8 for damage.
Oh nuts. Shoot, I was gonna cast Slayer's Prey on top of that, but I can never remember to do these stupid things.
Now, you haven't attacked yet, so Slayer's Prey is a standard action spell instead of a bonus action, I take it?
I think it's a bonus action.
Okay, well, either way, you can cast it. So do you want to use your turn to get both Hunter's Mark
Well,
and Slayer's Prey on him?
I already cast Hunter's Mark while we were
Okay.
talking.
Okay.
Slayer's Prey is a bonus action, but I already took my hit.
Well, that's okay. You can do both of them. You can use your
Already.
standard action and your bonus action to do both of them. So
I
get
well, I
Slayer's
already
Prey on
rolled.
him.
Already rolled.
You already rolled your damage, okay? Or you already
No, I
rolled your
already
attack?
rolled the hit.
Okay,
Already
so
rolled the hit.
what's the hit?
Good enough that I'm afraid to try and re-roll it. It's yuck. What is it?
It's a +4.
23.
23, that'll hit. Roll me that
Um,
beautiful beam footage. A D6 and a D8.
Yeah. Where's the D8 coming in? There you are. Okay. That is. I got 12.
12 damage. Excellent. This javelin stabs into the kobold necromancer, and you see him howl in pain.
Okay.
And he
then
gnashes his giant kobold fangs at you.
for my bonus action, I will
So you used your bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark, right?
I used Hunter's Mark before we got in combat. That was my intention.
Okay, that's fair. I'll
can...
say that that bonus action is what instigated everything. Okay, so what's your bonus action for your turn?
Slayer's Prey.
Okay, very good.
Charge in and use my extra attack.
Okay.
So, not as good. That's a 12.
That will not hit.
Jeepers. Okay.
Okay. Mela, you have two bad guys in front of you, a necromancer and a wizard. Which do you attack?
I swing my shillelagh at the mouthy one.
They're both kind of mouthy. I think Gersh, the dark gnome wizard, was a little bit mouthier.
The one that mouthed off to me about trading blows.
Yep, that'd be the guy.
Okay. I swing my shillelagh at him.
Okay.
Double fisting it. Waka! Oh, man.
Canonically, Mela cries, "Waka!" The war
rolled
cry
a
of the
1.
order.
I rolled the 1.
Ah, awesome. Your shillelagh.
I need to get a string tied to the shillelagh and to my wrist because
Yeah, your shillelagh comes flying out of your hands and hits Tashash in the rib for 5 points of damage.
What?
Ow.
Okay, well,
That was a
I
critical
will
miss.
kick
That was
him in
bad.
the face instead of hitting him with the shillelagh.
Tashash, did you take your damage on your sheet?
Yep.
Great.
Yep. Ow.
My regular kick to the head is a what? I need to know my bonus. 8 plus 13 is some number higher
Enough.
than 20. Okay, so boot to the head is a d6. D6. 9 damage.
Nice. Both of you watch the shillelagh go flying away, and you return your attention to him quicker than him, and you manage to roundhouse kick him in the side of the head, a feat not too difficult for someone of your stature and his height and your flexibility.
Nice.
So that's
then
2 attacks.
I will do just a regular old additional strike.
Okay.
And because I don't want to waste the key, so just 3 this turn, and it is a 19,
That'll hit.
and this is a punch to the face
Okay.
for 7 damage.
Excellent.
I promised you a punch to the face, and now you've received it along with a kick for
Harcourt.
Okay. I would like to. I'm going to use my bonus action, just initially, to hide amidst the legs of my allies here. That's
Give me a stealth check.
okay, but give me 1 second. It's called. Okay, sorry, I was looking.
You're fine.
21, not natural.
That's absolutely sufficient.
Okay. And then that's my initial thing. And for my action, I'm going to cast True Strike at the cantrip True Strike at the necromancer.
Excellent. Very good. So you'll have advantage on your next attack against him?
Yeah,
Very good.
if it's not broken or whatever.
Thack, what dost thou do?
So Thack takes his guitar in a posture that you may not have seen before.
Nice.
Ooh.
Wields it as an axe.
He
Um,
charges at which is the one that Thack tried to intimidate.
That would be the
No.
necromancer.
Okay, so
Kobold.
this, what Thack is doing is casting a spell.
Okay.
And it's the range of the spell is touch.
Okay.
So you get to, I guess, adjudicate whether Thack is able to touch his target or not.
Sure.
The way Thack is going to try and deliver that touch is in the classic FLCL style
Nice.
of holding his guitar above his head and spinning it like a baton, running at him and cracking him in the side of the head with it while the strings go.
Nice. Then make me a attack, and this will be a touch attack.
Cool. What? My normal attack is with my awesome longsword. What should my hit be?
It'll be
What should I add to it?
either your dexterity or strength plus your proficiency bonus.
I'll take strength.
Yeah, strength plus proficiency bonus.
Cool. So that's going to be a 21. 15 plus 3 plus 3.
You have touched this kobold in
Ah.
a way that he does not appreciate. It is
All right, so-
non-consensual.
So the name of this spell is Bestow Curse.
Ah, what a
He's
lovely
gonna-
thing.
He's going to need to make a wisdom saving throw versus 14.
Okay.
He's going to need to succeed at a DC 14 wisdom saving throw.
He does. He stares you in the eye. His eyes come back into focus, and they focus on you, and he grimaces at you.
What? Which one is this again?
This is the Kobold Necromancer.
The Kobold.
You've been punched in the face.
Yes. Or you do. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Does anything happen on a fail?
Nope. On a
Okay.
fail, I just fail.
All right. A loud cacophonous occurs, but he manages to rally himself and stare you in the eye.
I don't even get 1d4 of improvised weapon damage.
That's fair. You did attack him with the blunt end of a get fiddle. Roll me a d4 and do me some damage on him.
That's just 1.
Okay, plus your strength, which is
3.
okay. So that's 4 total. Excellent. This guy points a finger at you, Thack, and you see a black, purple, green, yellow, pussy orb grow around his fingertip, and it splits and sprays outwards at you. Make me a Constitution saving throw.
All right. That's going to be a 14.
A 14, that's good. That means that you're going to take half damage, and it's only 20 points of necrotic damage that explodes into your body and rips through you.
Ah, that hurts so bad.
This other dude snaps his fingers, and anybody who wants can make a Arcana check real quick. Got 10, 9,
Natural 20.
Okay. Volas, you recognize that he has activated a pending spell. What do you call it when you take a long time to cast a spell?
Contingency?
No.
Oh.
A ritual. He completes a ritual, and you see an enormous set of black crystals come and pull to him, and he is now hidden inside of this giant monstrosity. He's now about 7 feet tall, and he's this giant black crystal humanoid, and you see him roll his head and pound his fist into his other hand, and he points over at you, Mela, and says,
Now let's exchange blows.
his voice seems to be modified. Volas, it is your turn.
Wait, who was that? The necromancer?
That was the wizard.
The wizard, okay.
Yep.
Is that the one I
Is
kicked in the
hollow?
face?
Yes.
Is the
Okay.
suit hollow?
You don't know.
Could I
Even with the
try
20?
and use summon lesser demons and summon the demons inside his suit?
Inside, no. But
But
you.
what if they're small demons?
Let's see here. Let's look at the rules for summon and whether or not you can. I don't think that you can summon something. No, I'm going to say no. You cannot summon it inside of this gentleman's situation.
It says an
Well,
unoccupied space.
Yeah, no, he is occupying the space inside of it.
Oh, well.
Clever idea, though.
Yeah.
But very good idea. Yes.
What should I do then?
I'm
Let's
in
just-
tiny
let's
demon
just-
inside of the stomach because that's
Sure,
not
I'll
on
just
the
use summon lesser demons and summon around him.
Okay.
I'm supposed to roll a d6 to see how many demons come.
Okay.
3. 4 demons of challenge rating 1/2 or lower. And
1/2 what?
The DM picks.
the DM picks.
It's 4 demons of challenge rating 1/2 or lower. You pick what is summoned.
Okay.
DNDBeyond.com. It's never been easier.
Okay. Yes. You are absolutely okay.
We're not sponsored by D&D Beyond.
DNDBeyond.com/monsters gives you a nice little search engine.
Yes, it does.
We're not sponsored by DNDBeyond.com/monsters.
There we go. There we go. All right. Wow.
Summon something
I
good.
asked for CR 1/2. All right. You summon some cacklers. Oh, well, you would if
If we had the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica,
that's right.
huh?
See if
All
we're
right.
sponsored by
Let's see if any of these are. Here we go. You're going to summon some exceptionally powerful dretches.
Dretches.
Just look
That
on
sounds
the like homebrew section.
We got,
All right.
We've got dretches.
Yep. These creatures look like giant bat sloth things. And they have enormous fangs and large razor sharp claws. They proceed to descend upon this foe with the fury of hell.
Now, the thing
And-
about summon demons is I don't actually control them. They just kill everything.
Everything.
Everything. They attack the closest creature.
Hostile to all creatures, including you.
Everything.
Roll initiative for them. They take their own turns, and they attack the nearest non-demons to the best of their ability.
Okay, well, I'm going to say that these guys all look. Part of the reason why you summoned dretches is because they have a pack response and they respond to the biggest, nastiest threat. And so they all, in fact, do gang pile onto this this guy, and you see them begin tearing at the crystals. And you see one of the Dretches takes a face full of explosive crystal shards and screams as he takes a bunch of crystals in the neck and face region. All right. To Shosh, it is the turn of you.
I am. Oh. No. Gonna start swinging. So I think I get, if I just take all normal attacks, I get 3. So I'm gonna do that with my short swords. So first swing. That's not bad. It's an 18.
That'll hit.
Okay. So with both Slayer's Prey and Hunter's Mark, I get 2 extra d6s. So 3d6 damage. That is a 15.
15 damage. Oh my.
Yep. And second attack. Oh, 16 damage, sorry. Second attack. No, 17 damage, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong stuff. Second attack is a 19, so 8 more damage.
Excellent.
And my last attack, that's also an 18, so 5 damage.
Okay. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
This poor little kobold guy, you see him just collapse to the ground under your blows. You have just utterly savaged him, and he collapses, and you see him bleeding, and you see a couple of contacts fall out of his eyes, and you realize this guy is no undead necromancer. He's a poser, a wannabe, someone who fancies himself in the vein of more powerful arcane figures, and you have utterly and thoroughly bested him. Mela.
So is he out of the picture?
He is down and bleeding out. He does not appear to be capable of consciousness or action.
Well, Mello would like to punch Crystal Man in the face some more, but he would also like to not draw the attention of the vetch or whatever.
Dretch.
Is his face a place that seems dretchless?
His face is dretchless, yes.
Okay, I would like to jump off of his knee and give him a good kick to the face.
Okay.
23.
Will hit.
This is shillelagh-less. I'm not going to take time to recover that thing because it's always flying out of my butterfingers. Oh, man, just 6 damage.
Okay. Make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. I'll have to look up the thingamahooblobber, but I got a 1, so it doesn't matter.
Oh my. Oh my, oh my. Where you kick him in the face, a number of those crystals explode, and you take 7 points of piercing damage as these shards blast into you.
Does piercing do anything special?
There are different types of damage. For you, it's just damage.
Okay. I chuckle and try to follow that pickup with a punch. Possibly catching one of the crystals in my punchy hand and using it as a weapon against him.
We'll see.
I roll a 16 plus 8 is 24.
That is sufficient.
Okay. Punch him. You look at him. Oh man, 6 damage.
Okay. Make me a dexterity saving throw on the hand.
Come on, better. 5 plus 8 is whatever 5 plus 8 is. 12.
12.
13.
Yeah, that's not sufficient. And you take 8 points of piercing damage as these shards blast into your knuckles. Or into your arm and side of your body as you follow through on the punch.
I laugh slightly less laughterfully and do kind of a 2-leg kick to his face with a desire to get away from him.
Okay.
And that is a 14.
To hit,
Yeah.
that is insufficient.
Okay.
Okay. Harcourt.
Okay. The guy on the ground,
Yes.
the kobold,
Necromancer. Kobold Necromancer. Yep.
he is not dead.
He appears to be bleeding and unconscious.
Well, let's fix that.
Okay.
Wait, didn't you just put something on the other guy so that?
No, I
Yeah,
did it
you're-
on the necromancer.
Oh,
He was the one who told me he'd like me to take some gold from his cold dead hands.
That's right.
So
Which weren't even cold or dead.
that's right. Liar. Okay. I am going to. Excuse me. I'm going to attack him with
Okay.
my black serrated dagger
Okay.
with advantage because whatever. Also, he's laying on the ground, writhing around. So
You have so much advantage here.
that's right. Can I do 3 dice? 3 dice.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. This is the end of the game, and I can break this season.
Triplicate.
All right.
fair.
Let's see. I roll a. What did I get? 25.
That will hit.
Barely.
So I do. Where's my d4? There they are. I got.
Hey, if his eyes are closed, is it a sneak attack?
It is, in fact.
It actually is a sneak attack because of the advantage.
Ah,
I just have that. But I roll a total of. Give me a second. 5 plus.
Hey.
So I do 14 damage to him.
Excellent.
Does that seem effective?
That is wildly effective, and you see that he is no longer respirating, nor does he appear to have a pulse any longer. As you have, we have young people in the group, but you have managed to sever his body's capacity to persist in sanguine respiration. He dead. He real dead.
Sounds
he real
good.
real
Okay.
dead.
That sounds great. And then I will take my free extra attack on him,
Okay.
which is for which I roll a natural 20.
so Robert casts mutilate corpse.
Excellent.
idea.
Let's see.
The double
doing-
tap is a thoroughly good strategy in this situation.
Yeah,
He's a necromancer. You never
doing
know.
4 base damage, but it was a natural 20. So
You roll.
I'm gonna
Double.
just look around inside his body for a second for any gold.
Okay. All right. How much damage did you do on that? You critted a person whose soul had not yet departed from his body.
That's right.
So how much damage did you do on that 20?
On a 1d6, I rolled a 4.
Okay, I'm gonna say you do max damage on that. So you did 6 plus. What's your modifier? 5. That's 11.
Yeah.
Hot.
What's my modifier?
Dang, you did it. You did it. I'll tell you what you did in a second.
All right, great.
And do you want to use your bonus action to rifle through his pockets?
Look in the
kind of.
finger. That's where he said the gold was.
Yeah, I guess I have to, considering he challenged me directly.
Okay. Okay. Make me a perception check.
Okay. Not natural 20.
Okay. You notice a glimmer of your favorite color in the world, gold, poking out of the tip of that finger that had exploded with that necromancy spell that he cast out of it.
Yeah.
You see that the tip of his finger bone is gold.
His whole skeleton, probably.
That's what I'm guessing. So,
He's a construct.
yeah.
That finger just kind of toss the flesh off of it.
Yeah, I need to. Could I drag him away to some spot?
You can on your next turn. You've used up your turn for right now, but you could do that later.
Well, here I
okay,
am.
fact.
With it dead, Tashash turns to Harcourt and says, "It was not a very good bugbear."
Fact
We have
turns
got
to
to enroll
Harcourt,
you in some zoology classes.
having been sprayed with almost half of his hit points value in terrible acid damage,
Necromancy damage.
necrotic nasty damage. Thack,
Yeah,
looks
you now
brutality.
smell like an old weeping sore. But go ahead.
Ah,
We've had a
good job, Harcourt. Rip him to pieces. Ah. And Thack points himself at the big guy, the big crystal weirdo guy.
Yeah.
And he's you suck. You're the worst. You are the worst.
Excellent.
He has to succeed at a Wisdom 14 saving throw.
Sadly, he does. He does manage to slough that off. He is actually so busy with the dretch that the full force of it doesn't really register with his mind is elsewhere, you know? Okay.
Fair enough.
Do you have any bonus actions or anything you want to take?
I'm definitely going to walk as far away from the action unless it's like more than 60 feet, but I want to be at a range. How far away from the big guy and the dretches can I get?
You can get to the far side of the room, which would be a good 50 feet away.
Well, I only have 30 feet of speed.
Sure.
But as long as I don't have to go near them, I'm trying to get away. So have me go.
Sure. So
Even
you
if
go
I'm walking away. Well, I don't want to go too far away from my friends, but I definitely want to back away from the action.
Sure.
And how far away am I from the action once I get to that spot?
You are now about 30 feet away from the quote unquote, or you're about 45 feet away from the fray.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, so you can see here's the giant sphere. You've got the fray happening roughly in the middle of the room. Harcourt is over here with the body that he's doing unspeakable things, and Thack has retreated over here closer to these two entrances. Okay.
Got it.
Nostrils.
Yeah, sure.
They do look like nostrils
of the room. Yes.
The Nostradamuses.
Initially, you said that they were on the north side, so you can draw maps however you want. You Australian.
So Thack, Harcourt, you are currently inspecting, prodding at, manhandling the corpse of Rinks, the kobold necromancer, leaning over him when you see those eyes go truly milky white and the head snaps towards you in a very unnatural fashion. And you see its mouth kind of crack open and move, but you recognize that the tongue is limp inside the mouth and it's not really moving its lips, and yet you hear it speak.
Who disturbs my servant? You are scarcely more than food. Why has my servant not eaten your flesh?
Tashash
And I
says,
slap him in the face and say, "Welcome back, baby. Let's get to it."
Do bugbears even do that?
You hear the deep voice exclaim with shock.
What?
I do not think it is a bugbear.
This giant
What
crystal.
do they call it? A hunch. I have a hunch.
You
This
might be right.
giant crystal monstrosity begins swinging at these dretch, and you see one of them is he just brings his fist down on top of it, and you see it, and kind of with a sickening crunch, it collapses into a pile of dretch goo, and another one it swats, and you see that dretch go flying back about 10 feet. Volas, it is your turn.
Oh ho. Fireball.
Yeah. All right. So there's a dretch. There's a
You're gonna
giant
kill all your
black crystal
dretches.
golem and
So,
two
I
dretches.
only summoned them to get at the XP. I'm gonna level them before you guys.
Nice.
This is the last
Nice.
episode, so.
Nice.
We're in this encounter too.
Oh
I don't
man.
care.
That's that far.
Our level
Fireball.
up ethic based, not point based.
I would like to, by the way, I would like to hit as many creatures as I possibly can, some of which may be the party members. I don't want to intentionally, but I will if I have to. Anyway, let's see. I
Taking it for the
believe
team.
Fireball, it's 8d6 damage if they fail their dexterity savings throw. 20
Okay.
foot radius. That's big.
Okay.
I'm really glad that I walked away from this.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
It looks like if you cast it on the far side away from them, you can just barely manage to not hit Mela.
I think he wants to hit Mela.
I want to hit as many people as possible.
Oh boy. Okay, well, Mela,
How many
roll me a
people?
dexterity saving throw.
What about Tashash?
I'm over
Tashash
next to
is
Harcourt
Yeah, Tashash is okay.
and the body of the thing.
Sure. All right. So
body
one
of
of
the
the
non-dead bear.
dretch manages to leap out of the way, but one dretch and one giant black crystal golem are about to get a face full of fire. Mela, what's your dexterity saving throw that you rolled?
17.
Okay, I think that's probably going to be good enough. So you're probably only going to take half damage unless you have the evasion feat.
How much money do you have there?
7.
I don't have that.
Okay.
Did I know of? Where would that be?
One of them again.
That would be on your player thing under features and traits. You would see evasion.
So that's 8,
Uh,
12, 14.
no. Wait, racial traits? No.
No.
20,
Nope.
no, not
Don't have it.
What was this?
Okay.
it was a 1, now
Okay.
it's a 5.
That's 10, 22, 23, 24, 29. He was rolling damage.
29?
29.
One of these dretches just bursts into flame, and you
Yay.
see it just run screaming into the wall of the cave, and it bounces off and rides around on the ground for a few more seconds, and then it is a black, crispy mess. Another one, you see it catch fire, and it begins flailing and screaming.
You want to hear the good news?
Yeah, let's hear that good news.
I still have another 3rd level spell slot left. So I'm just going to
Does
do
it
the
hit
exact
Mela?
same thing next time. And
That
it's
sounds
not
like a
my
great
fault
plan.
If anyone gets in the way.
All right.
Nice.
Does it hit?
Just
What?
a
Okay,
disclaimer.
but does the fireball hit Mela?
It does, and Mela takes 29 Well, Mela takes 15 points of damage.
So Thak says, "Watch out! You just hit Mela. He's a friend."
Sorry.
Tashash.
Right. Well, so I'm gonna the not bugbear is moving again, right?
Yes, it is. It is moving around, although in a very unnatural way.
Well, suppose that means I have to mark it again. So I'm gonna.
It's still marked.
Yep.
You've still got both marks on it.
Yep. Which is convenient.
Oh.
Tashash quickly lays a hand on Harcourt's shoulder and says, Be on your guard, Harcourt, Fenton Mud. Let us be careful. And I cast protection from good and evil on him.
Excellent.
And then he jumps in and hacks away at this, whatever it is.
Okay.
And Harcourt says, thanks.
Wait, you can cast a spell and also attack?
It's a bonus action.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yep, so attack. The first swing is a 9.
To
Oh,
hit?
it misses. No,
That misses.
Okay, and extra attack. That's a good one. That one's going to get 24.
That'll hit.
3. That is 11 damage.
Excellent. What are you attacking him with?
Short sword.
A short sword. As you plunge this short sword into this corpse, this animated corpse, you see the light go out of its eyes, and you hear a distant angry growl that sounds like it's coming from the end of a very long reverberating tunnel. And you see that milky white go out of its eyes. Excellent. Mela.
Mela cowers into the nearest corner and then uses his wholeness of body action.
Okay.
What does that do?
It heals me for 18 hit points.
What does it look like when you do this?
No one sees it.
No.
Thak sees it.
Nope.
All
Thak
right.
is standing back watching everything.
Hardcore.
Well, that casts
Yeah.
a 87 stealth check.
Does first Mela, will you are you looking at your character on D&D Beyond?
Uh-huh.
Will you adjust your hit points because it's on the stream?
I did.
Oh, it didn't come up. It has you at 41. Okay, that's fine. We'll maybe it'll-
I'm at 29.
Maybe it takes a second.
Yep. And then did protection good and evil does that make any effect on me that I need to be aware of?
It's
Does it hinder my doing stuff?
yeah, I think it's just against you. So it's aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead.
Okay.
They have disadvantage on attack rolls against you, and you cannot be charmed, frightened, or possessed.
Great. Then in that case, I would like to. Well, first of all, how far am I from the edge of that fireball?
You were right on the edge of it. It terminated a good maybe 5, maybe 10 feet away from you.
Okay. I want to do a.
It is dissipated now.
Yeah. I just wanted to see how dangerous it was. I want to do a attack on the guy on the ground that I'm like, I don't know, kneeling on and eviscerating or whatever.
Sure.
And so I'm just going to attack him with my dagger. Do I have any kind of advantage or anything, or am I just attacking?
Yeah, it is a prone thing that you are above, so you have advantage on the attack.
Oh, okay. So my to hit is going to be... This is my black serrated dagger of venom.
Sure.
2 18s. So it's a 26.
That hits.
And so that does 2d10. Let me read this real quickly. Sorry. He needs to do a DC 15 saving throw, con saving throw.
He fails.
Okay, so he takes, first just for the dagger, he's got, and I don't think I understand this exactly, but that's okay. 7 damage, and then a d10. Oops, sorry. 12 more damage, and he's poisoned for a minute. 2d10 and become poisoned for 1 minute. So
make me an Arcana check.
Okay. Let me look at my Arcana. Okay. 9.
Okay.
And then
you done hurt him, son.
Good. That is great. Let's see. And then I have, because I had advantage on that, that's a sneak attack for my special ability, which is an additional 9 damage.
Okay.
And then my second attack with my other...
Make me an Arcana check.
Okie dokie.
Can I make an Arcana check?
7.
Okay. Last attack.
And then last attack is with a 23.
Okay.
With a... oops, wrong die. Sorry. With just 1 damage.
Excellent. But you can make me one last Arcana check.
16.
You recognize that with each blow, you have been basically carving out, depleting this reservoir of necromantic energy that this guy had stored up inside of him that was triggered when he went below 0 hit points. And at this point, you kind of feel the arcane equivalent of your shovel hitting bedrock. You have scooped out every last drop of residual reserve that this guy had. Yeah.
Okay. Great. And then the last thing I want to do is just with my bonus action, run back a little bit and just kind of hide among somebody.
Take the disengage action or the dash action for your bonus action.
This is my halfling, naturally stealthy. I can attempt to hide even when I'm obscured by a creature one size larger, like among the legs of my party and stuff.
Okay.
I don't know what it's called.
Now you did do 3 attacks, right?
No, I only did 2. One of them was a venomous dagger, so I did damage for that.
Gotcha. I see what you mean. Okay, yeah, sure. All right. So you withdraw and hide. Do you want to hide behind like Mela or hide in the crystals at the edge of the room?
I'm next to him.
Yeah, I guess probably with Tashash, like kind of behind Tashash or something.
Yeah. Sure.
In his tail area, I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Mela, having experience. No. Thack. Sorry. It is your turn.
Thack looks around. Does he see? How does Mela look? And is Mela within 60 feet of Thack?
Mela is within 60 feet, and he looks hurt, but not critically hurt.
Okay, if he looks hurt, Thack's going to hit him with a little Sean Mullins.
Nice.
Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye. Rockabye. Everything's gonna be alright. Rockabye. And some really bad fantasy, Sean Mullins.
Nice.
Gonna give him 1d4 plus 3.
I've heard that Joker live.
Nice.
Cool guy.
That's going to be 6 hit points to Mela. It's not a lot, but it's something.
It is something. You're
Better
right.
than a swift
It
kick
is
in the
nothing.
neck.
All right.
Well, unless I'm doing it.
So yeah, this corpse before you, Harcourt, on the ground is utterly and completely lifeless. There is no true life. There is no false life, no necromantic life. He's not being puppeted from the beyond. It is dead. The giant crystal...
Tashash is skeptical.
The giant black crystal golem swings at, turns to Volas and charges at him. And as he's running towards Volas,
It's a good move.
he backhands one of the dretches and just kind of takes its head off of its shoulders. And as he runs at you, he does a 14 hit your armor class.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait. I can cast shield, which gives me a +5 to my AC.
Okay.
Does that take an action or a...
Bonus
It's a reaction.
It's a reaction? Awesome.
Let's see. That makes it a 17.
He a 17. That's enough. So he brings an enormous, like 3-foot diameter crystal mallet-like fist down on you, and you throw your hands up, and this shield appears. This arcane shield appears in thin air and deflects his blow. And his other hand comes in at you from the side and hits you for 16 points of damage as you feel your ribs crack and you go flying 10 feet and you land prone. Welcome to max damage from a large golem.
Nasty.
Well, now that I'm at 6 hit points, whose turn is it?
It is the turn of these little guys. One of them goes running at the giant golem thing and attacks it. And it hits the golem. And you see some more of those black crystals explode into it. And it's not looking too good at all. Another one runs over towards you, Volas, and attacks you on the ground. And is your AC still a 17 until the end of the round?
Until
Until your turn?
One
Good.
round.
Until the start of my next turn.
Because if that shield had not been there, it would have clawed into you. But as it is, you see these large, these large, wicked claws slashing down onto the shield. And it is thwarted from its designs to eviscerate you.
One of the dretches.
Dretches? Okay.
Dretches, yeah. All right, Tisha, so you have a giant, huge nostriled bat sloth looking thing with large slavering jaws bearing down on that shield above you. Tashash.
Well, there's a giant bat sloth with slathering jaws bearing down on the shield above one of my comrades.
Hey,
This is happening.
sorry, real quickly. Did Volas have a turn this round, or is he not yet? Or
I apologize. I am so sorry. I jumped straight from the big bad guy to the little third party guys. My apologies. Volas, it is your turn.
I would like to cast, it's here somewhere. I think the spell is called Command.
Okay.
Here we go. It is DC 11 for some reason. Wisdom savings throw. And I get to say one word to Mr. Big Bad Crystal Guy. And
Okay.
if he fails the savings throw, then he has to follow that word up to his interpretation.
Okay.
DC 11. Wisdom.
What's the word that you speak to him?
Eat. And I point to the dretch.
Gotcha. He looks at you and just throws his head back and laughs. He rolled a 20 on his saving throw, unfortunately.
Wow.
Yeah.
Aww.
Great timing.
I only
Now,
got one use
to
of that.
Shosh. There is a very brave little bugbear underneath the shield, not attacking the thing that is bearing down on him, but instead pointing at the giant crystal thing, telling him to eat. That crystal thing has laughed at him, and this dretch is clawing away and biting at the shield.
That is my bugbear. I don't take kindly to that. So,
Oh no, he
interlopers.
didn't.
Yeah. Oh no, he didn't. So I'm going to use Slayer's Prey on the dretch.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna trundle on over there and give it a whack. That's 15.
That'll hit.
All right.
I think. Let me double check. Yes, that will absolutely hit.
It's a 10. 10 damage.
You skew. What are you attacking him with?
Short sword.
Short sword. You skewer
that was my first
this
one.
thing. You
Second.
skewer this thing. It's dead.
Oh, it's dead. Okay.
It is
Yeah.
dead. There is another one that is probably about maybe 20 feet away from you that the giant crystal golem backhanded and swatted, and it flew away. But it is still alive, and it is the last one.
Can I? Maybe I could like get Volus back on his feet and maybe pull him a little bit.
Yeah, you can use.
away from the goal.
Yeah, you can use the rest of your move action to pick him up on his feet.
Back toward Harcourt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just do that.
Yeah, you pick him up and unceremoniously toss him over into the vicinity of Harcourt.
Yeah, get him
Okay.
just clear of the dretches and other nasty stuff.
Mela.
Mello would like to continue trying to punch and kick this guy in the face as he promised.
Punch and kick.
Go for it.
I will start with a punch. 24.
That'll hit.
Nope. Missed my casting area. There we go. 9 damage.
Okay.
I would like to follow that up with a knee. Bring that knee straight up to his jaw. Crystalline jaw.
Now, you attacked him with a punch or a kick?
I think I said punch.
Punch. All right, roll me a dexterity saving throw.
17 plus 8, 25.
Yeah, you fly out of the way. You know it's coming, so you follow through on the punch and you dodge away from the vector as it sprays razor sharp black crystal shards out. Go ahead.
Okay, knee to the chin. Ooh, 19 plus 8, 27.
A most palpable hit.
And it gets a, max damage, 10 damage.
Nice.
No, that's not max, I can do 11. Dang it.
And roll me a dexterity saving throw.
1d6 has 6 sides, not 5.
It's something we all forget from time to time. What's that dexterity?
0. 18.
That's sufficient.
Okay, and then what do I got?
Either one more attack, or if you spend a key point, 2 more.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the key point.
Okay.
And Paja! I roll a 1.
Nice.
So you hit me with the shillelagh again?
No.
Oh, good.
Make me a dexterity saving throw as you step on a patch of scree from the blast of black crystal shard detritus on the ground.
I roll a 23.
Nice. You do not lose your footing as you slide 5 feet away from the guy.
And then my final attack. Ooh, 17 plus 8 is 25.
That's a hit. Roll that beautiful beam footage.
And I'm also going to, because it's a hit, spend my final key point. And he needs to make a dexterity saving throw of 13 to not fall prone.
Excellent. Yeah, he utterly and completely fails, and you see him tip over. And as he slams into the ground, you see a lot of the crystal shatter, and you see a huge chunk of it come away from his midsection.
Nice.
And how much damage did you do on that one?
Only 6 minimum damage.
Okay. Okay. Excellent. That was a very thorough trouncing that guy just took. Harcourt.
And punching in the face.
Is there any, with the chunks of stuff coming off, is there any part of him exposed, or is he still fully encased?
There is. You can see this the gnome's midsection exposed. His ribs down to his hip bone.
Okay. And how far away is he from me right now? If I'm
About 15 feet.
okay, great. Is he? Sorry, real quickly. Is he laying on the ground or is he standing? What's going on?
He's laying on the ground. He is prone.
Awesome. I would like to run towards him. Run up to Shosh, not up to Shosh, but up him, and
Sure.
flip off of him and do some damage to this guy's torso.
Okay.
Can I assist in any way? Launch him?
Absolutely.
No.
You get advantage on the acrobatics check to
There we
launch
go.
off of Tashash
Great.
and descend upon this guy.
I want to try to get
Nice.
add some. I don't know if you can do this, but falling damage to the short sword. I'm just kidding. I don't have any idea. Okay. Let's see. So a 19 on the
That's a hit.
acrobatics part. I mean.
Oh, yeah. 19 acrobatics is sufficient.
And then on the actual damage.
You corkscrew at the guy,
Yep.
and at the last second land on your feet, immediately in place beside his rib cage.
All right, and got a 15.
That'll hit.
Great. Which gives me, what is the damage on that? Sorry, short sword is 1d6 + 5. So the total damage with this short sword is 17.
17 damage.
Yep. Because this is a sneak attack from
Crazy.
I have advantage.
And does the poison do anything in addition to that?
This is a different weapon. I can only use that
Okay.
that once. That per day. It has venom.
Gotcha. Okay.
But so this is just straight piercing damage.
Yes.
And
Yeah. No. An enormous spray comes out of this guy, and you realize that you've stabbed him through the heart.
Oh, that's no good for him.
No, it is not. It is not what you would call an ideal condition.
That's right. All right, and then my second attack on him is I rolled a 24.
That's it. That'll hit. That'll hit. It will.
Because you can.
And that only does, because it's not a sneak attack this time. Although I bet he wasn't
Only.
expecting it. That one does 7.
Excellent.
Only 7.
Yep. Okay.
Once through the head, once through the chest, and once through wherever else you need to stab someone.
People
That's
need to
hardcore.
learn to appreciate the double tap.
As Harcourt told the judge earlier, he's a God-fearing, peace-loving man of the people. But also, come on, don't mess with him.
If you want peace, prepare for war.
That's right.
You do love peace. Thack.
So Thak is watching all this go down. Like, basically, my party has knocked over this this crystal golem and is just wailing on them on it, and pieces are coming off.
Yeah, you see Harcourt go flying through the air like a spiral, land
Right.
on his feet like a mongoose, stab the guy 2 times quickly in succession, and you see all this black crystal immediately crumble and fall away from him.
I thought you said the bad guy is prone.
He's laying on the ground, yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I see like Mela and Tashash and Harcourt sort of standing over him, hitting him over and over again. Is he still moving?
No. He's so completely dead. So utterly
Okay, awesome.
He stopped moving when I was.
Thak is going to draw his sword at this point and say, well, I guess I better get some of this for myself. Go over, take a stab.
All right.
Do I need to make an attack roll against
No, at this point, we've descended into raw cinema. You guys all stand around eviscerating and mutilating the corpse that is beginning to be less and less recognizable as a dark gnome.
As Thak does,
I always say you can never be too sure with undead.
As
Thak does that, Harcourt's interested in checking the rest of the necromancer skeleton.
Sure, yeah.
Tashash is going to help just to make sure it's dead.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys thoroughly and utterly finalize the execution of these foes. Harcourt, you are managing to peel back the stuff that is in between you and what appears to be an absolutely gorgeous set of clockwork hands that are articulated by these bizarre. They seem to already be peeling away and splitting and rotting, but these arcane actuators. And you see that the hands are made of some sort. The fingers were made of gold, and you can see that the hands are made of pieces of adamantium. And you can see little jewels and gems in there. It looks like as you kind of peel back, eventually you get back to the elbow and it's just kind of common cobalt stuff there. But you have these 2 arms that are made of gold, precious gems, precious metals, and make me a perception check. We're going to call this an appraise check.
And also, just since we were doing cinema anyway, when Harcourt ran over, he stuck his daggers in and dropped his tail out of the back of his coat, the tail, and flipped out some very nice, long, thin, flaying claws and was pulling the flesh off with them.
Harcourt has a tail?
Harcourt has some things going on. He wears a jacket. Okay.
Tashash looks at his tail, looks at Harcourt's tail, looks back at his tail.
Looks at Harcourt's tail.
What?
That is new.
What check am I making?
Perception check.
Perception check. There it is. Okay.
You're not a lizard, secretly, are you?
It rolled to a 20 and then flipped to a 2, giving me a 6.
Excellent. You recognize that there are a lot of valuable bits and pieces in these arms. They look to be the work of someone who is very, very skilled in both mechanical engineering and arcane spell work. So you've got a very unique, one-of-a-kind thing. There may actually be some level of technology here.
That's
I
cool.
want to go over there and make all the arcana checks.
Hold on one sec. While I'm doing that, and I check that, I'm going to far above where it connects to the cobalt bits, so maybe at the shoulders or whatever.
Sure.
I'm going to, dismember.
Sure. Okay. Write down in your inventory 2 cobalt technomancer arms.
Sounds good.
If Thak makes a 13 on his perception check, does he see the tail?
Yeah, probably not with a 13.
Okay.
It's got about 2 inches sticking out below the trench coat.
Actually, yeah, I guess with a 13 and it's sticking out, then yeah, you do. You recognize the tail. So just then, you guys see an enormous surge of energy come up out of the aperture that Harcourt and Volas came up out of. And you see two figures emerge. And they appear to be kind of hovering on a giant silver disc that's about, maybe 6 to 8 feet in diameter. And the second figure is one that you recognize immediately. It is Abrexalor. The first, and Abrexalor is standing kind of farther behind with his arms crossed behind his back. And the larger figure, who is about 7.5 feet tall, is a black scaled dragonborn who appears to be made of nothing but bone and black gems.
Bone.
He steps forward, and you recognize the same voice as before, Harcourt, as you were staring into the face of this thing.
The one that talked from the dead kobold?
Yes.
That's
you hear the
hardcore.
same voice, and he says,
What is this madness? Cease. We are beings of law and order. There are old forms and treaties to uphold. I have come to make this right.
and he reaches out a hand, and you see him kind of make a pulling motion, and the bodies of the two dark gnome wizard and kobold necromancer come flying to him, and you see him snatch them out of the ground, snatch them out of the air, and he holds them up and looks at them, and he kind of makes a head jerk of disgust, and he kind of tosses them away, and he says,
Know this. Neither I nor my master authorized this experiment.
and he waves his hand over his shoulder.
I have brought a representative of law to adjudicate as a third party.
And he waves at Abrexalor. And Abrexalor steps forward, and Thak, you get a direct mind message. And you hear him say,
Sheathe your weapon and keep it sheathed until the right time.
Thek does so. And then the guitar also, shoop, 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 back in the case on the back.
and we will return to the meeting of the minds in just a moment.
Oh ho.
In approximately 10 minutes or so,
Yep.
we might say.
Let's take a quick break.
Sounds good. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you in 10. Thanks for joining us on the Starfall Collective. We'll be back with part 2 in just a bit. And we're back. Welcome back to part 2 of episode 13 of the Starfall Collective, end of season 1. This
End of season jamboree.
This imperious bone dragonborn studded with black gems.
Oh, real quick, I'm pretty
Yes.
sure there are no Dragonborn in Starfall.
There are now.
Okay.
This is one of the ancient ones, I guess. Back again or something.
That's weird.
He looks at all of you and says,
My master wishes to avoid further.
and he looks at the bodies of these two, and he says,
Shenanigans. It is not time, nor his desire for the ancient pacts to be broken. Unfortunately,
and he looks up at the top of the sphere where you see that black piece of pitch about to drop. He says,
I would be in gross violation of the terms should I perform any act.
hush.
Should I perform any act to remove the source of the taint? I take it you have all surmised the nature of the malady.
And he looks at all of you. Yes.
No, sir. I am still quite confused as to the nature of the malady. Will you tell me?
He looks at all of you and says,
Then I suppose what you lack in knowledge, you have more than made up for in brute strength.
Yes.
You have bested 2 of my acolytes, and justly from what I get. My goodness. Thoroughly bested 2 of my acolytes.
he sees the remains of their bodies.
We are very strong.
And he says,
I must apologize. Long ago, one of my rivals was vanquished, and his phylactery was sent into, for lack of a better term, the garbage. But I see.
and he looks over at the Arcano behind him.
It managed to make its way with sufficient force up this passage as to lodge itself into the root ball of the life tree of the elves. Now it seeps his energy and his life force. I cannot remove it.
And he looks over at Abrexalor, and Abrexalor shakes his head.
It remains to you. But I assure you, should you retrieve it and return it to me, I will ensure that it is properly disposed of this time.
How do we do that?
Thak, make me a wisdom check. Add your wisdom bonus and your proficiency bonus.
All right.
And Abrexalor walks over to you and places a hand on your shoulder. Make this with advantage. Or actually, Abrexalor is going to roll for his
It's
side.
going to be a 16.
Okay. That's okay. Abrexalor rolled a 19, so that's sufficient. You try to search your mind and kind of open it up as Abrexalor walks over to you. And when he places his hand on your shoulder, you immediately experience a jolt of memory that rocks you to your core. You feel like your gravity has stopped working and you are kind of perpendicular to reality as you remember a scene looking into that hellmouth, and you remember seeing a vision of the forges of retribution, and you see many more of these similar acid green blades of various sizes and shapes and types being forged. and you hear Abrexalor's voice in your mind.
The blade is capable of piercing, severing, cutting any barrier. Should there be a matter of betrayal or wrongdoing, you can pierce the veil of the cyst that contains the phylactery. It will not be easy and will cost you greatly.
Good.
You do not understand the measure of power that you seek to face. It will take a soul bond of the deepest level. You must choose allies to help you share this burden.
Sounds kind of corny to me, but like, okay. Was this audible
Do
to?
you prefer to have the flesh burned from your bones?
Is this is just Thack can hear this, or
Yes,
everybody
in
else
your-
can hear it?
You can hear this in your mind.
Hey, hey, Mela, I need to talk to you for a second.
Okay.
I know. I have a quick geographical question. The thing that he's gesturing to, the sphere, the black sphere, that is
He's
It's
gesturing to above it, to the place where that drop of pitch is coming out.
The cyst.
right. So does that look accessible to me? Like, am I going to have to climb to get up there, or fly to get up there? Like,
Yeah, you don't. There's not an easy way to climb
Okay.
there.
cool.
But yeah.
So I'm gonna try and sort of call a huddle.
Okay.
Mela, Abrexalor says that there's something that I don't know what it is called a phylactery that's lodged in the tree. We got to get it out. And I kind of try and hide the blade from the Dragonborn guy, but I pull it out just a little bit to show Mela. I say, this can apparently destroy it, but we have to get up there, and we have to be one in mind or spirit or something. Like, there have to be a bunch of us. Did you see the Avengers?
The what?
There's a
The one with the
famous.
dance off and the
There's a very,
raccoon.
very famous puppet show that goes around from various different towns, and the Avengers are a team of misfits who save the world, and it's the most popular puppet show in the world right now.
That's now Starfall
Yeah,
canon.
I do a really great show where we do a sing along with all the songs from it. It's awesome. But
That's kind of like the Rocky Horror Picture Show. It's like an alt version of it that's got a punk rock score to it. Yeah, go ahead.
But it's like we have to be like super I don't know, friends or something. It's going to be the power of friendship that
like
does
You,
this.
you see Abrexalor put a hand on his face, and he just kind of shakes his head, and you all of you hear out loud,
Any who wish to aid in this ritual must willingly share. The sum of their life force must bond souls.
And Harcourt
Yeah, that's
walks
what I
over.
said.
Harcourt walks
Heard of
over,
these
taps
things called
Abrexalor on the knee,
friends.
and says, "I'm with you, man."
Abrexalor looks down at you and nods his head.
And what Thack says to Mela, what I'm trying to say is, like, I realize that you and I haven't always like seen eye to eye on stuff, and I guess
Are you
I'm
trying to
sorry.
be friends?
Let's like be friends and share our life force and do like a friendship ritual.
Retrieve for me one hatchet and bury it, and I will be your friend.
Abrexalor turns and looks at Mela and says,
You have lost power over this one.
and he points over at Thack.
Since we last spoke, I am afraid that he must come under your power once more. For this power of the blade to work, he is not one of the Alliance. He does not represent the ancient powers, but you do.
And you feel the Order of the Jade Throg amulet in your hand, in your pocket or whatever, begin to quiver.
So apparently, the guy with the cold tells me that you've separated from our group, sort of spiritually, Thack, and you need to.
He is no longer under your authority by the gods you two are dense.
You need to bow down to the Order of the Jade Throg or something.
Thack turns to Abrexalor.
To bow is insufficient. You must make him a warrior of your order. All who would soul bond with you must ascend to this level.
Hey, so we're all going to become Jade Throgs. Everybody put your hand in the middle. On 3.
I don't.
Yeah, Harcourt's happy for that.
I don't want to become a throg. What is a throg?
Tashash!
Is
Make
it
me a
like
nature
frog,
check.
But with a T?
Make me a nature check.
Who?
Me?
Volas.
Alright, well, what's my nature? +4. 15.
A throg is a creature of the plains that has wicked claws, large legs.
I put my hand in.
A powerful body, a razor-sharp beak. As an egg, the parent lays the egg in the clutch of other creatures, and when the throg hatches, it eviscerates, eats, cleans house with all the other infants of the nest, and the parents raise the throg as its own.
Wow.
Yeah, thanks, Animal Planet. On 3. Come on, Tashash. Get in here.
Get your claw in
Come
here.
on, Dad.
Everyone
All right.
else is in. Tashash is still looking at the circle.
Do you want to defeat the circle or not?
His frills are kind of going.
Remember that all your friends are living
Roll
in
for
the
it. Roll for it.
sanctuary
Roll for it.
above.
Roll for it. What would I roll against?
So Mela, do you say
Whatever you
anything?
decide.
You see Tashash standing there, undecided and resistant. Do you say anything?
Yeah. Do you remember all your friends that are living in the sanctuary below this tree? That were
Above
about
this tree.
to pick?
Well, below the canopy, above the roots, yeah. Go ahead.
You should remember them. Do it for them.
I am a lizard first. And always.
You can be a lizard first and a jade throg second.
You could be a lizard throg.
And you can be a bugbear third if you do it. An honorary bugbear.
Ooh, honorary bugbear. Although the cold guy might say you have to be lizard second. I don't know.
You could polymorph yourself into a jade throg whenever you want.
Tashash looks at Abrexalor. I am lizard first.
So be it.
So, wait. First,
So
we do
be
ritual
it.
to open whatever to get phylactery. Then we actually break phylactery.
I
break it.
Do you
Yes, you
Then
break phylactery with
you-
muscleness.
do you stand as witness then?
Do you stand witness, you said?
Yeah, he's talking to Abrexalor.
Yeah.
Do you? He asked Abrexalor that.
Yes, I will stand witness to you, warrior.
Then that is my oath. Lizard first, and always.
Mela, this is up to you to accept this oath from Tashash as whether or not that's sufficient.
Sufficient for me. Let's do it.
All right. Mela, do you want to? What do you say to bring these guys into the Order of the Jade Throg?
Let us go forth and smash a phylactery, dudes.
Yeah!
And Harcourt says, "Hey, where can I get one of those fancy amulets?"
I would recommend not stealing this one because I would notice.
I don't steal things.
I know.
Like the phylactery.
There's a throg in there.
So what do we do?
Such is the bond.
And you see a Brexilor take a dagger out of his hip thing, and he walks over to each of you, and he cuts you on the arm, all of you. And you see this arcane web shoot between each of you where your wound is open. And all of you are, for a moment, aware of many of the surface thoughts and feelings and physical condition of all of the others around you. It kind of goes a bit duller after a few seconds, and you realize that you can it's like paying attention to something. You can sense each other somewhere in your consciousness.
Do we
So
learn any?
each of them has like a little tiny Metallica show playing in their head.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is so noisy.
Never be quiet.
Why does it not be quiet? How does it understand?
The Dragonborn and a Brexilor just look at the five of you.
Harcourt says, "I'm ready. Let's do it."
Zach takes his sword and jumps towards the thing.
Towards what?
Towards the place where Brexilor gestured that the phylactery was.
That's about 60 feet up in the air.
How high could... so I can jump, what, my strength? Straight up in the air?
Yeah.
3 feet.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I land.
Thack jumps up in the air and lands, and you realize you have not been given the gift of flight just because you've joined the Order of the Jade Throg.
Okay, so I guess Throgs can't fly. Who's got an idea about how to get us up there?
What about you people? Any flying things?
Somebody could throw me.
I have some rope, I think. Do I still have rope?
I believe
I still have rope. I have 50 feet of rope.
Yeah.
My hands that 50 feet of rope.
Oh, rope. Yes, that's pretty useful.
And somebody
Let's
could
see what I've got here.
You can tie my 50 feet of rope to the other 50 feet of rope.
And you have my rope.
Thack has a thought, and he reaches into his guitar case, and he pulls out this strange. He shuffles around in there for a while because it's deep in there. He pulls out this weird little copper box that like kind of floats or something, or it has a weird relationship to its own weight and to the weight of the things around it. And he takes it and he shows it to.
It's not a copper box. Remember, it's a giant disc, and in the center of it is this thing, right? Unless you've got some totally different copper box thing that I don't remember.
You told me I have a rattling copper box. It's in my inventory. It's the thing that's been making my bag float sometimes.
Yes, it is the box thing. There's a square piece in the center of this disc, right? It's a couple of feet in diameter, and it's been on the bottom of your. I think we had a miscommunication in visualization. It's a giant disc. You pull it out of the bag, and it's a giant disc, and in the center of it is a copper rectangular prismatic looking thing, and you hear a rattling sound inside.
So I take this and I show it to Volas, and I say, "Hey, you're a clever guy. I don't know what this is, but it sort of floats sometimes, and Maybe you
I'll
could
take
use it
Yeah.
to get us up there somehow.
Can I make
That would
like an
make
Arcana
the
check?
Arcades fly.
Can I make an Arcana check to see
You
what it does?
absolutely can make an Arcana check.
Okay. Plus
What were you asking, Dwight?
That
Is that what makes
is
your guitar
not
case fly?
enough.
Yeah, sometimes.
12.
Okay, Volas, you recognize the arcane properties of this thing, and you realize that this is some sort of thing that will interact quite differently with the world around it, and could in fact be useful.
Harcourt's
say-
interested in trying to figure out what it is too.
I say, yes, this is very useful, but I have another solution. Could I use my thorn whip as like a spider web thing? Its range is 60 feet. It brings the target 10 feet closer. Could I just use that as like a makeshift rope to climb myself up, or like a spider web?
It does pull.
Yes, it does. 10 feet. So.
Although only Thac's dagger can do that.
Do
Can
what?
pierce the thing. So you'd have to get Thac to give you the dagger.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get up there. That way I'll be able to like grab the rope and...
Oh.
Yeah. So
I think it has to target an enemy in order to be. It's not a grappling hook, right? It has to.
make a melee spell attack against the target. If the attack hit, the creature takes 1d6.
creature.
Oh.
Can I
Yeah.
try to see what the Disc of Magical Magics does?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I rolled a natural 20.
Great.
Okay, you recognize a ancient artifact from the Dwarven era, and this has a core of some amount of pure levy. This is actually an extremely rare and valuable item. And as you come to this realization and begin to share some of this information, it occurs to you, something clicks in you, that this must be something similar to what has been going on with the creatures that were flying around
Those little
inside
centipede
the
dudes.
Arcano. Yeah, these creatures also, little wheel things begin to click together, and you realize Levy has a odd relationship with these currents of arcane energy, and it is able to interact with them. You don't know this, but it's a little bit like the quantum entanglement thing that happens when you super cool the two magnets and you put them in place and they freeze with respect to each other. It's something a little bit similar to that. There's a field effect that happens between these arcane currents and pure levy. So
Okay. So I tell them basically a brief summary of that and say things like, first of all, Thac, that's pretty neat. I think we can definitely use that. Also, I have some really cool stuff you might be interested in for trade if you want to get rid of that dead weight. Let's talk about that a little later. But I think when we were coming up the Arcano volcano there, the way that I was surfing on Volas's neck or whatever, I think this disc can do similarly, but we're going to have to find some current of arcane energy like that crazy swirling mass of crazy right there. Somebody has to ride on the disc, I think, to go up high, or maybe all of us. I don't know how big the disc is. I don't know if it's big enough for all of us.
Well, if one of us brings the rope up to the ceiling and he takes this piton, which I have one single piton left, this piton and the hammer, and makes the rope fast up there, we can all climb the rope.
Sure, I'll do that. I've surfed before, remember? The Volas thing.
So it is going to be that'll be interesting because the gap between the top of the sphere and the ceiling is a good 6-7 feet. It's a good at least 6 feet. So you're going to be quite challenged to reach it just on your own.
Okay. I'm happy for somebody to help or try to do some kind of get some momentum. I don't know how
Need a
that works
boost?
exactly.
I'll give him a boost.
Oh, it just occurred to me. Do you remember the the properties of your tail? What it allows you to do?
I do. Or, well, some of them. I have it with me here. Give me a second. I'll tell you. Yes, there it is.
Mela walks over
Yeah.
and picks up my shillelagh.
What did you say?
I walked over and picked up my shillelagh. Didn't want to forget it.
Good idea.
Tashash flinches.
So, because we were
animal
trying to,
likeness.
what's that?
Powers of the Black Night Stalker.
That's right. Okay. So Thack, you have this disc in front of you, and Harcourt, do you want to climb up on his shoulders and do the piton thing?
Sure, I'm game. Let's give it a try.
Okay. Thack, do you want to roll me an acrobatics check to try to run up towards this sphere and put the disc in the air and put your feet on it and land on the disc and surf this thing up?
Can it be an athletics check?
It can.
Here comes an athletics check
Ooh.
to surf on the thing with my buddy
Harcourt.
who's very small.
Can I come too?
That's going to be a 19.
Excellent. So you go running forward and you just leap up in the air, tuck this thing underneath your feet, turn and stick your feet out and slam it into the sphere. And sure enough, suddenly gravity and everything seems to just utterly nullify. And you are now planted with your feet on this sphere. And you now feel glued to the face of this thing and you begin rocketing upwards and around. Now make me an acrobatics check to try to navigate this thing, to try to ride the currents and aim towards the dead center top.
Both of us, me, him.
Yes, both of you. Harcourt, I'm going to say, since you have vast experience helping other people, using other people as a vessel on which you navigate, you're going to be able to do this with him.
Okay.
That's going to be a 3 plus 3 equals 6.
Okay.
For that.
15 for me.
15 is sufficient. So you guys, Thack, you're just kind of standing there and suddenly you feel Harcourt kind of grab you by the head and wrap his legs around underneath your arms and is just kind of now leaning with his torso and is now guiding you. So you are basically an extension of this platform. So you guys rocket up to the top. You are now coming at the pitch that is falling. What do you do?
Well, I think Thack has the idea that we all need to get up there because it's going to take all of us.
I'm getting the piton up. Right now we're getting me to hook into above it.
We're all a team now.
Okay.
Sam.
Right.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get him up to like the stone.
Okay.
With the piton and the hammer and the rope, so he can get a.
Make me an athletics check. Make me an athletics check to lift Harcourt straight up in the air and get him in position.
Yeah, here you go. That's going to be an 18.
Excellent. Harcourt, you are now in position to make a sleight of hand check to try to hook this piton in.
Sleight of hand is a good check for Harcourt.
Indeed.
A 27.
Excellent. You slam this thing in, and now everybody has access to this rope. Make me either athletics to try to just brute force freeze and hold, and you're using your strength, Thack, to hold position within the current, fighting it, or an acrobatics check to try to surf around in a circle.
Athletics.
And what am I doing?
You are currently on top of the shoulders of a weebly wobbly half-orc who is fighting a current.
16.
16 is sufficient. You manage to freeze and break yourself in place. You are right next to this drop of pitch, and you see it fall and splash into the sphere. And you see this. There's this noxious fumes that come up as you guys choke and cough and splutter, but you're holding in place.
Quick! Affix the rope. Affix the rope.
You see, now that you are up here, up close, before there was a lot of kind of arcane energy and debris and stuff, and so it was hard to see. You can now see what looks to be kind of this living, throbbing, cyst-like sheath thing that you can see. The edges of it, you can see this kind of puckered, burned, angry opening in this cyst. where the pitch is dropping out of slowly.
Okay. I have the rope and I try to get a good solid knot on the piton.
It's already connected, so
Oh,
you're
okay.
good. Yep. So there's a rope and a piton dangling down behind you guys.
So I say, climb the rope, guys, come on.
I climb up the rope.
And Harcourt also just grabs onto the rope so I'm not wobbling on top of Thack.
Yeah, I also grab onto the rope.
Okay. So you guys are completely stable now.
I climb the rope.
Volas climbs the rope.
I mentally message Abrexalor and I say, okay, is there like anything specific we got to do? Do they have to touch me? Do we have to
Use the blade.
Yeah. I get that we have to use the blade, but what do they do?
They are bonded to you. This is yours to do, and theirs to bear the burden.
Oh, so they could have been down there.
You do not ask many questions and make many assumptions.
And Harcourt's dangling there and says, hey, Thack,
Yeah,
can we
you guys
get with the
can-
stabby?
Okay. Hey, thanks for being with me.
And that's the last that anybody ever hears from Thack Thunderer.
He disappear into the.
He freezes and disappears into oblivion. Oh man, Matt was making his
going
final
at it.
monologue.
I
He's
can hear him in
still
the
going.
next room.
Hey,
Oh no! Try to remember what he's saying so you can help him.
he's faking.
I can't make it out that well.
Faking.
And he's gone. Go get him and tell him he dropped. Or no, he's back. He's back.
I dropped out. I'm back.
We heard none of
Guys,
that.
Thanks,
I heard
guys,
some
for-
of it.
Thanks, guys, for being there with me during this time. It's really special that you would come all the way up here to the ceiling to see this special ceremony. And I think also this is going to hurt you guys like a lot, like maybe like a whole lot. So how do I say this? In the name of Groomsh for freedom. And then he says freedom again, but it's like he's definitely bravehearting. And then he draws the glistening green magical wakizashi of law and launches himself at the thing that he is supposed to stab with it.
All right, make me a attack.
Oh, let me see. Here we go. 18.
18 is sufficient. Everybody make me a reflex saving throw who is attached to the rope or holding on to the rope as a violent tremor now shakes your arm as you feel a earthquake
Is that
shuddering around you.
is that a Dex saving throw?
Dex throw, sorry.
12.
Me too.
19.
9.
Okay. Anybody who doesn't make a 14 can either choose to take 8 points of damage or let go of the rope.
22.
I take it.
Okay.
I think I'm still on the ground.
You said how many points of damage?
8.
Yeah, I'll take
Hey.
that.
Okay.
I thought. Oh, Tashash, you didn't climb up.
Did I?
I tried to ask you to,
Oh, whoops.
and the others did. Mella's up here, right?
Oh, okay. Maybe I did.
But I take that damage and I go, ah!
Okay, so everybody think of a number that you want to take in terms of damage, because what's about to happen is 80 points of damage are about to be divested among the 5 of you. Everybody is going to think of a number, get it fixed in your head, and no cheat skis. You're going to say the number that you're going to take. Ready? Mela.
34.
Okay. Tashash, what was the number?
25.
Okay. Harcourt.
20.
Volas.
1. I have 6 points of health.
Take
5.
Excellent. In fact, what was your number?
50.
50. Awesome. Awesome blossom. Volas, you do in fact take 1. Everybody takes their amounts except Thack takes. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, Thack, you do not take any damage at all. Everybody else takes all that damage, and you don't take any. That's incredible. Well done, guys.
Trying to put us in prisoner's dilemma.
What happened?
And Harcourt howls with pain because that's really intense. He goes, oh, that hurts so badly. Only a dwarven artifact can heal my soul.
All right, Tashash. Zach, make me a strength check to try to sever open this cyst.
Straight strength, not athletics?
Athletics, yes.
Okay. Ouch. 13.
13 is insufficient. You heave at it and you feel the blade hungrily biting at the cyst, but you feel active magical power resisting this. You can feel the cyst closing against you, and you can see that opening. You can see the place where the pitch drops out. You can see it beginning to contract.
I shove harder.
Okay. Everybody, another wave of damage comes washing across. Everybody, you guys don't know how much it is. Everybody, make me pick an amount of damage in your mind that you're about to take. Keeping in mind that if you take your Constitution score below 0 in hit points, you are irrevocably dead. Or is it half your hit points below?
I thought it was your whole hit points below. What is it, Jacob?
I could have sworn it was half below, but Jacob?
It's when you take damage equal to your hit points or more.
Below 0.
Below
Then
0.
you're dead. Cumulative. So cumulative. So if you take 5 damage one round, then the rest, another round, you still die.
So sorry, just to be clear, that's if you go to negative your max.
Yes.
Then you're perm dead.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So, but all of you guys are up on your feet. So everybody decide ahead of time how much damage you're going to take.
Hey,
what happens if you go below 0?
If
you go below 0, you fall unconscious.
So real quickly, Josh, just for me to make sure I have the scene properly. I'm at the highest point on the rope.
Yes.
And I'm quite high above the crazy arcane bubble.
Yes.
So loss of consciousness is not ideal for me right now.
Yes.
Nah, not really.
I yell, guys, tie yourselves to the rope. Another wave is coming.
I do that.
All
so
right.
you don't fall.
Everybody make me a sleight of hand check to see if you can quickly tie yourself to the rope.
One-handed bowling.
18.
Oh,
23.
13.
Does that get to make this check?
Sure.
Natural 20 plus 3.
Everybody who beat a 12 makes it. So everybody has, in one way or another, secured themselves to the rope.
Okay, great.
All right. So everybody pick that amount of damage in your mind. You've got 5 seconds. Mela, what's your amount?
20.
How much?
20.
20. All right. Thack.
50.
Volas.
2. Doubling it up this time.
Harcourt.
24.
Thank you. You're so generous.
And Tashash.
15.
15. Excellent.
Oh, are you changing my damage thing?
Excellent. Everybody takes the amount of damage that they said that they were going to take, and Thack, you take 0.
Hey, I took that amount of damage in D&D Beyond.
Oh,
And
I need to do I?
Sorry,
I
go
just
ahead.
want to. I just went negative.
All right, so
Still alive.
Tashash falls
Sorry.
unconscious and is dangling from the rope, unconscious.
He bit the rope.
So he's got a death lock on the rope. Even in unconsciousness, his
secured
jaws are
himself.
locked. Excellent. What were you saying, Sir Robert?
I just don't. It has like a little death saves screen.
Yeah,
in D&D
Yep.
Beyond.
I've got the same thing.
Do I need to do anything with that?
Not yet.
Are you below
should do it.
zero?
I'm below 0.
He'll
Okay.
ask you to make a death save when you need to.
Okay.
When you need to,
Great.
yeah. Okay. All right. So Harcourt
Yeah, same boat.
did Harcourt tie himself to the rope?
Yeah.
Okay, so Harcourt and Tashash are dangling unconsciously from the rope. Thack,
So,
make me
no.
a check to cut this thing open.
I'm
Athletics.
An attack roll?
No,
Oh,
you've
no,
already
okay.
you've already attacked it. You've already stabbed into it. You just need to make a athletics check to sever this thing open.
I'm also dangling.
It's not great. I'm sorry, it's not great. It's an 11.
An 11 is not enough. You heave on it, and you feel this jolt of resistance coming against you. Everybody who is still conscious, make me a dexterity saving throw as another great tremor happens. You two are
I'm also unconscious. There's 3 unconscious people.
okay. All right. Well, hang on
Yeah.
one sec. Let's find
Yeah.
out. Mela, your body, where are you in the climb order?
I'm not sure.
We haven't really established this, have we?
No.
What we know for
Well,
sure
Bolas
is
said that.
Harcourt, Thack, Volas, and then we don't know anything else.
Okay. Okay. Harcourt, your body comes loose from the rope. The tremor shakes you free. Thack, make me a dexterity saving throw to snatch Harcourt's body out of the air.
Wow. 7.
7. Harcourt begins to fall.
No!
Is anybody else conscious? Or
I
have
am.
all of you guys gone down?
I am. I'm conscious.
You are. Okay, Volas, you are down below. Volas, you can make a dexterity saving throw to try to snatch Harcourt's body as it falls past you.
10.
10 is sufficient. You are reaching out and grabbing an object. 10 is exactly what you need.
Could I?
Wow.
Okay,
Can I use my
I'm
mage hand for that? You're not 10.
I give myself bardic inspiration.
Okay, that sounds like a good thing to do. Make me a check to sever
what?
this thing open. An athletics check.
Here goes. That is going to be a 6 plus 9 plus 1d8, which is, here we go. Ouch. 16.
That is enough. You sever this thing open, and you see this wave of pus and black ichor and brown and clear liquid and stuff come flowing out. And you see, in the midst of all this, you are paying attention. Make me a perception check to try to spot this
The phylactery. Here comes. Gonna use bardic inspiration again.
Okay.
So 11.
11 is enough. You're literally watching. You're like right here in front of it. It's a DC 10 to spot the thing. You see it coming, flowing past you. Reach out and grab it.
I do so.
All right. Thack reaches out and snatches the phylactery as it is flowing past him. It's literally right there, so I'm not going to make you make a sleight of hand check or anything. You just reach out and grab it. So you're holding on to this phylactery with one hand and you're holding on to the rope with the sword in your hand with the other, and you look down and you see Harcourt's body being held in the hand of Volas. You see Tashasha's unconscious body gripped with a death lock by the jaws onto the rope, and you see that Mela has managed to twist his wrist up into the rope, and you see his body dangling unconsciously there as well.
I mentally message Abrexalor, and I say, "Dude, help!"
You see Abrexalor run over to the base of the rope, and he grabs it, and he begins pulling it, and he heaves it backwards. And so you guys are now all kind of at an angle like this, and he starts pulling and pulling, and you guys see the piton beginning to give, and with an almighty snap, the piton gives, and all of you guys come shooting out and away from the edge of the come on,
Bubble of doom.
Bubble of doom. But everybody lands on the ground and takes damage and automatically fails one of their saving throws.
How much damage?
3 points of falling damage.
3.
What does
3,
Harcourt
we
do
fell
with that?
60 feet.
Not 60 feet. Well, okay, so I'm going to mitigate that somewhat because the...
Okay, it's up to you, Mr. DM. 3
Because
points.
the arcane sphere, you guys are being pulled through it. It's a little bit like being pulled through a giant sphere of molasses. So you guys take 11 points of damage.
11.
All right. So Thak has 10 points of damage, 10 hit points left. He lands on the ground, takes 11 points,
and falls unconscious.
and wait for it.
Yes.
Oh no! How do I? Come on. Okay. When I'm reduced to 0 hit points but not killed, I can drop to 1 hit point instead. It is called Relentless Endurance because I'm a half orc.
Nice.
So I fall. I'm clearly unconscious and dead, and then I go, nope, not today. Stand up.
Not today, Karen.
Not today, Karen. Groomsh wins.
Harcourt can't take 11 damage. There's no slot.
Yeah. Same with
It's just a failure. You just check failure.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I clicked a failure.
Okay. We are now going around. So it is the top of the order, and anyone who is conscious is going to go first.
No.
I'm
Which
conscious.
I think at this point is Thak, right? Okay.
It's just that.
Go
Is
for it.
Volas not conscious?
I'm knocked out, and I took a failed savings throw. You can.
So I say to both of the guys, Dragonborn guy
Yeah.
and Abrexalor,
Jacob, you were conscious before you hit the ground, right?
Yeah, you don't take a failure.
So hitting the ground only knocked you unconscious. I don't think you have a failed saving throw yet.
No.
Well, I had 3 health, and then I took 11 damage, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that just puts you
just knocks you
below.
out.
So you haven't failed the saving
Yeah.
throw yet. You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Thank you.
Dwight and
Wait.
Sir and I took
Oh, well,
failed saving throws because we were already unconscious.
That's right. Okay.
I thought we were using-
so I say out loud to both of the other beings in this room who
Yeah.
are alive. I say, "Get off your lazy butts and help my friends. They're badly hurt." And I rush over to Mela, and I try to bandage him or revive him. I want to make a medicine check to try and stabilize him.
Sure. Do that. Make me a medicine check.
Here goes. That's going to be a 13.
I think that is sufficient. So he gets a successful, I think you stabilize him.
I think I stabilize him, and he's just at 0 and unconscious.
Yes. Okay.
Or at 1 and unconscious.
So the the large bone and black gem dragonborn walks over to the group of you and splays out his bony claw-tipped fingers, and you see a cloud of purple green energy suffuse all of the bodies of all of you guys, of everybody in the group, and you guys all regain 3 points of necrotic. Well, not necrotic. You regain 3 points of dark false life, but it is sufficient to bring you all up to a level of consciousness and stability, though you all wake with a taste of ash in your mouths.
Oh,
Temporary HP or
You've got everybody who was below 0 is now at 3.
Do I click
Okay.
success 3 times?
Yes.
sure.
You're back on your feet, and you have 3 hit points.
How you doing, Tashash? Are you all right?
No.
like pennies.
Ow.
Hey, Harcourt, how you doing? Looks like you're hurt pretty bad.
Yeah, I've been worse. I've been in some taverns that had some unseemly types of things.
Feel right.
So what happened?
So
Did we win or something?
I've got the phylactery. I hold it up.
I
I take my. Oh, go on, Tashash.
You still talking?
I think somebody took my liver.
You don't need that. You're a
I don't
lizard.
know where it is.
Lizard is most of the word liver already.
Liver.
I'll get you a new liver, buddy.
Thank you.
You can count on me. So I go up to Abrexalor and I stand in front of him and I hold up the phylactery and I hold up the sword and I say, "Okay, I'm gonna do this."
And Brexalor looks at you, and the dragonborn lich walks over and stands across from you on the other side of Abrexalor. And Abrexalor reaches out, takes the phylactery from your hands, places it into the hands of the lich, and says,
So the peace is maintained. So all are mollified. And we depart.
and the lich re-summons that giant silver dome, that giant silver disc, and over the mouth of the Arcano, and walks over to it and gets on it, and without saying anything to you guys, just descends, leaving wordlessly with the phylactery.
Is Abrexalor still there?
Abrexalor is still there, yeah.
Harcourt leans wearily on the levy disc.
Hey,
It's hovering in the air about elbow height for you.
Oh yeah.
I just
man.
noticed that I had that thing for the first time. Somebody gave it to me and I completely forgot about it. I don't care about that thing.
I'd love
It's
to
not a
have it. It'll
musical
help me
instrument
heal.
or anything.
Great, I'll buy it from you. Thanks a lot. If that's okay.
Yeah. Oh, fine. Whatever.
Great.
I'll
Done.
cast Cure Wounds on Harcourt.
All right.
Ah.
Abrexalor looks at all of you and says,
Or
As a favor to a friend, I summon you home.
and Abrexalor waves his hand open, and you see a portal open, and out through this portal you see a vision of the wetlands out below you, and you can tell he has opened a portal to above, to the top of the mesa.
I say to Abrexalor, I motion to my friends, let's go. But then as I go through the portal, I say to Abrexalor, this town owes you a great debt, and I will see that they establish a temple in your honor. And on this day each year, there will be an offering in your name. Come back to receive it. And then
Just doing my job.
And he kind of gives you a little salute, and you see him descend into molten lava that begins to the ground below him turns red hot and turns into molten lava, and you see him begin melting down into the ground.
Goodbye.
Let's go, buddies.
Thanks, Braxy.
We gotta get you some first aid.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, yes.
I'm
That's a good idea.
I'm going to have to leave you. I am accustomed to this darkness, and it is very much needed for me to be back home. Goodbye, my friends.
Goodbye, Volas.
Oh,
And
goodbye.
Bolas just disappears into the darkness.
Yeah,
Partying
I'm an
with you.
underdog.
You're a weird,
Oh, okay.
you're a
Yeah,
weird
Yeah.
dude.
that's fair.
You should write sometime.
Sorry you lost your big hat.
Bye.
Now there are,
No, he was
now
stowing
there
it.
are only
So
two
Volas-
bugbears left.
That's right.
The one bugbear.
So I'm gonna.
Honorary bugbear.
Sorry, real quickly. Jashosh, how much did your heal whatever do to me?
12.
Oh wow. Okay. Great. And I'm gonna hobble through that portal,
My
carrying my
secondary spells.
To be greeted
Wiggly
by
bones.
a bunch of healing monks on the other side of the portal.
You do, in fact, see a young boy sitting with his back to a tree. And as soon as he sees all of you guys coming through, he jumps up and gives the monk bow to you, Mela, and says, Master Edamame will want to know of your return. I will go and inform him. And the kid goes, taken off, sprinting down the path
Hey,
towards...
small man. I yell after him.
He gives you a little fist pump. So you guys, as you're walking down the path towards Master Edamame's place and the Temple of the Jade Throg, are greeted by Master Edamame and several other servants in retinue with him. And he runs up to you, Mela, and says,
We felt earthquakes. Is everything all right?
Yeah, we
No.
did the tree.
You did
Lost
what?
my liver.
Tree, the big old tree.
Know
Had
where it
some sort of-
is.
Phylactery embedded in its roots.
and Harcourt says, and this guy, and he points with his thumb to Thack, gave the most awesome concert, victory battle concert I've ever heard, and is just amazing. And he gives a little black bag of 100 gold to Thack, which should be a lot for Thack, I think, if I recall correctly. And he gives
Yes.
a little black bag of 100 gold to Thack because he promised to pay him, for the thing. It's a done deal now. That's the point.
Then tonight,
Okay.
we will feast, and Thack, you will play the song of triumph for the city.
Ha ha!
cut to later that evening, you guys are all welcomed into the private, restricted ceremonial area underneath the great tree. There's this enormous coliseum or amphitheater-like area and a giant stage. And all of the elders and nobles of the town and as many other common people as they could bus up between the funicular and the elevator. A quarter of the city is up there filling this. And Master Edamame is singing the praises of all you guys. And he gives the stage to Thack. Thack, make me a performance check. And do this with advantage because your guitar seems to have a life of its own and has a will to express its own voice.
And don't roll double one.
So what you're going to get there is a 25.
Nice. Thack melts the faces off of this. And what kind of song do you sing?
Oh.
What is this song?
It is
Tragedy.
it is a
Pieces
it's-
are melting off.
it's definitely it's the rhythm of an old orc war chant. They're like a marching song, but he's put his own chords to it for the guitar instead of just drums, which is like what the orcs would normally have for marching. He's put a guitar riff to it and stuff, and he's made up lyrics describing their whole adventure
Sorry, go ahead.
from like the courtroom scene and meeting these weirdos.
Oh, so you tell the entire story?
Yeah, I'm a bard. You got me started. I got a story to tell. I'm getting the news out about how awesome I am and what a great job we did saving the town.
Awesome.
That starts today. This
Awesome.
is the grand tour. This is the kickoff, like, of the whole career. This is like, yeah.
Yeah, you are immediately inducted into the to the Order of the Iron Eagle, which is a extremely elite, rarefied air of bards. If you're a member of the Order of the Iron Eagle, you have basically there's nowhere you can't play. And several of the Rankar orcs are playing these enormous 8-foot diameter drums that have these enormous skins stretched over them. They're playing with these giant mallets that are 3-inch thick, 4 foot, 4 foot long. They're banging along and playing with you. That night after the concert, you guys are all welcome back to Master Edamame's place, and you are all feasting and celebrating with him. And he is basically cornering everybody and drunkenly making everybody repeat every story. Around the 4th time that you tell him the story, Harcourt, do the details get embellished at all, or do you keep telling it straight down the middle? What sort of flair does Harcourt put on the narrative of the events? Harcourt
always tells it straight down the middle. However, he's frequently surprised at how much other people forget.
So if everybody can give just like maybe like a 20...
Tashash remembers it exactly as Harcourt tells it.
Everybody give me like a 20, 30-second little just clip of their character explaining just one scene of something that happened to Master Edamame.
Guy's arm and threw it straight back at him and hit him with his own sword right between the eyes. It was amazing.
What did I tell you? I said, one more time, I'm going to throw one more javelin at you. And you succeeded because of my training and your natural ability as a warrior.
And he claps you on the back and pours you another glass of sake. He waddles over to who's next?
Me.
Harcourt. He's you see him over in the corner with Harcourt, and they're both chewing on enormous legs of some kind of bird and chewing and eating and talking.
And I pull out a bottle of really fine elven wine.
Oh, that is. Oh yeah, you have to go to the lotus bar to the tea room to get that stuff.
That's right.
Oh, and he pulls 2 glasses out of his coat and it offers the cups to you to pour.
And I do, and I say, it was amazing. We fought this necromancer, or maybe it wasn't a necromancer. Who knows what it was? But I feel like I had a really good banter with him, and honestly, even though in the end he had to die a lot, like a whole lot.
There's nothing like a good banter with your nemesis.
It's true. And
yes,
I feel
the banter was good. I heard it.
I feel like I'm gonna always have a piece of him with me, or 2 pieces. And I pull out one of the arms, and I'm like, "See, scratch my back with it."
He says,
"I always have a piece of my worst enemy, Bartrand the Black."
And you see a little piece of steel sticking out of his ribs. He says,
"The doctors have offered to remove it many times, but I could never give up such a precious treasure."
And I say, "High five."
Tashash gives him a high five.
Thank you.
How many fingers does Tashash have?
Well, how many did I put? Probably 4, I think.
That just takes 2 hands then. So Harcourt says high five because we can relate on that point.
So we cut over to Edamame and Tashash, and they are both chewing on together. There's this enormous section of like 4 or 5 ribs, and Tashash is on one end of it. And what?
eating gravy.
Oh
Gravy
yes,
all
that's right. You see that
Gravy all day.
there's a big plate of ribs with a giant tureen of gravy next to it, and edamame is sloshing it on and then dipping the rib into the gravy and chewing on it. And Tashash just has another one and is drinking. What does
Largely
Tashash tell?
uninterested in the ribs. Just gravy.
What does Tashash
Gravy.
tell him about? Cut it.
Oh, yes, there were lots of strange bugbears. They're not the good kind, though.
Bugbears. I did not know we had bugbears in this area.
Not the right kind of bugbear. No. Not like my bugbear.
You have a bugbear? This man has a pet bugbear. Incredible.
It is not a
Obviously, I have
pet.
much to learn about lizard folk.
It is not a pet.
I must see this bugbear. Show me.
You have seen it. It is over there.
He points at Harcourt.
And you see, we cut away. Edamame is just dying laughing. He's not trying to burst Tashash's bubble. Tashash, as you are enjoying yourself and kind of resting in a quieter corner of the affair, Atlas walks up to you and gives you an enormous embrace. She breaks, half of the lizard folk rules about PDA and just clings on to you and says,
I cannot tell you how good it feels to have half of my heart back in my chest. Thank you for coming to be alive.
Yes. I cannot tell you how good it is to have my own liver inside of my chest.
And she gestures over her shoulder, and you see a lizard folk who you do not recognize at all. And she says,
While you were gone, kinsman, a messenger came.
and you see another figure standing off behind him. And this lizard folk walks up to you and addresses you.
Yes. Hello.
Are you Tashash, the ranger?
Yes, I am. My name is... Yes.
This is a small-ish, smaller than you, so maybe like 5'5", I guess. Somebody that you recognize as being a ranger, and this lizard folk is carrying a wooden box in one hand and a small, large cloth sack in the other hand. And when you answer that you are indeed Tashash the ranger, he takes the sack and holds it upside down, and out of it fall 3 orc heads. And he says,
These were of the Black Marrow clan. Thus the mark of vengeance is enacted. These 3 I myself have added to the tally.
I'm gonna open, pick up the heads, check them, and then pull the biggest tooth out of each one, out of the mouth of each one, and and I'll give them to I'll put the teeth in the hand of the lizard who brought them.
Thank you.
What is your name?
I'm not making up a lizard folk name, but it's an appropriate ranger name.
Yes. Come
I
then.
I am Rashash. I can't know Badaka or Arash.
But my name is never the same twice, so don't ask me.
Very good. Come then.
I hand him one of the one of the heads. And is Aseda nearby?
Yes, he is.
I will hand him the other head, and then I will lead them to the fire, and we will burn the heads together.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we're
Pay good.
so after
Like,
the heads have burned.
But the payment has not been fulfilled yet.
Yes, Brother Tashash, the payment has not yet been filled.
The
However,
debt is still owed.
the debt will be taken on by others. You are
Yes,
needed elsewhere.
indeed.
And this Rosh, this lizard folk ranger, takes you away from the fire and out a little ways away from all the lights. And it's nighttime, right? Yeah. So he points up. And one thing that we maybe haven't said on the stream about the world of Starfall Collective is that the stars are usually not fixed in place the way that they are on Earth, where they rotate around the North Pole. On this world, the stars appear from one end, and they just stream in a straight line until they pass out of view on the other end. But he points to one star up in the sky, and he says,
There is a star that does not follow the others across the sky. It stays in place, fixed. The lizard folk, we are most concerned.
and he at that point he hands you the box. He motions for you to open it up and look inside.
I open the box and look inside.
Is there some form that official orders from the lizard folk government would take? Would it be on parchment, or would it be verbally delivered, or what?
Probably verbal.
Okay, so
I mean, there might be some sort of like seal or something, yeah,
you're the one who knows.
or whatever. But it's probably mostly verbal.
Okay, so inside of this box there is a document on parchment. This is prepared animal skin, written in Elvish, with a very important looking golden seal at the bottom. And it is a passport. And the lizard folk says to you,
Go to the far west. Past the edge of the world, there is a cloud giant called Nebulaster. He knows much of astronomy and sees much that the people who live on the ground cannot see. We seek his wisdom concerning this fixed star. Go now, as soon as you can, to the elven town called 3 Ways. There is an elf named Malmer Mayala. He has been paid to guide you by any means necessary to the court of the cloud giant Nebulaster. You should start this very morning.
I will do this. Thank you.
I leave.
Yes.
You see Mela step outside of the party. I'm sure at some point, Mela, do you stay in the thick of the party, or at some point do you retire?
Oh, I'm probably already in a trance.
Where?
Just wherever. I can trance out wherever I need to.
All right. So there is a lovely little brook and garden of silence outside of at the outskirts of the monastery property, somewhat close to Mela's to Edamame's portion of the monastery where the party is being hosted. And as you're trancing, you hear the familiar of a Aufblitzen warrior laying beside you, and you hear a familiar voice. You son of a bitch. You didn't even think you were going to, you didn't even say, hey, you didn't send me a message. You didn't say anything. Nothing. You could have been dead. And you see Senka walk up to you. Sorry, Seiko walk up to you and punch you in the shoulder. And then she throws her arms around you and hugs you and says, don't think I'm going to let you get away with stealing my valor, stealing the spotlight. This city's going to be in danger again. And next time, I'm going to save it. And until then, she throws you a bow staff. You and me are going to train. And she attacks you. And we cut away from the two of them sparring together. Unless, Mela, of course, you just allow her to hit you and you don't give in to this invitation to spar.
I allow her to hit me and fall unconscious when I lose 3 hit points.
You see her. Oh no! Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. Oh! And you see her running with Mela's unconscious body. Edamame!
Broke it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a true pleasure having you with us as we play a little bit of live Dungeons and Dragons. This is the end of season 1 for me. It has been a real pleasure getting to play with you guys, my friends, and I look forward to being one of the party as Matthew Q. Talamini takes over for season 2 of the Starfall Collective starting next week, Monday at 7:30 p.m. Yay. Ladies and gentlemen, just like failure, success is beautiful. It's been great having you with us. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.
Thanks, Josh.
See you next week.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so sleepy.
So sleepy.